Hello. Hi there. Back on another episode. But this time I started off with a namaste. The reason is I'm going to take you in this episode on a journey that one of the most famous of the Hindu god took the journey from here to another place. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring to you the story of Shri Saptakoteshwar, who was in the Divar ward of Naroa and who is right now placed on the other side of river Mandovi in Bicholi, in a village named after this very ward as Narve. Now when we come into Divar, the first aspect that we see in this ward of Naroa-Divar is the chapel of Our Lady of Candelaria, or Nossa Senhora de Candelaria. Many times people say it was built in the same place where the Saptakoteshwar Temple was there, but they are wrong. This chapel is at the base of the hillock, while the original spot of the Saptakoteshwar Temple lies about 50 meters up where you have seen me walking, and here we are at that particular spot where the temple, the original temple of Shri Saptakoteshwar existed. So I am going to start my journey and tell you a story that is fascinating because it does not just go from here across, but it was taken from here not directly to Narve, but it went to the border of Goa to a place called Latambarcem, which we will show you also, and brought it and then established it at Bicholim. So ladies and gentlemen, where I am standing right now, they have marked it with a cross, and you can see a lot of stones, big stones that have been fallen over here. And this were what Andrea Corsali said, an Italian writer who had come here, traveler, that this was one of the most beautiful temple he had seen anywhere. So you can imagine what it must have been. First, it was the Muslim raiders who came and destroyed it. Immediately after that, a general from the Vijayanagar kingdom came. His name was Madhav Mantri, chased away the Bahmanis, and he rebuilt this temple. And then it was Miguel Vaz in 1540 who totally destroyed it, and the ling was put in a bandh. But as we go, I am going to tell you, but right now you see the original spot, and then we will proceed down, because you can see that there is a wide road-like structure here. This was the road that came from a huge lake that was there of the temple just below. Today it looks like a field, huge field, and it proceeded down to another lake, which when you see, you will be surprised. Cut out of one rock, has got beautiful carvings all. The original temple site where we showed you now all the stones that are there, the location that was there, it is on a hillock. On one side there was a huge lake that was meant for the people, but on the other side, on the east side, there is another lake which is carved out of a single rock, and it has got beautiful steps and places where they would keep all the lamps so that the whole place would be lit up. And this is the site of the lake of the Saptakoteshwar Temple. Now Saptakoteshwar, there are two major festivities happening at Naroa. Possibly they were happening here. One is Mahashivratri, that is the day of Lord Shiva or Mahadev. And on Ashtami day, they have got something called as the Bhutanchi Jatra, or a big festival which we have brought to you. Check out my Goem program on Bhutanchi Jatra. It is to happen just down here at the banks of the river Mandovi, Kumbarzoa and Madhai meeting together. There you can see Divar, you can see Santistev Island, and you can see Bicholi and the new place where this Bhutanchi Jatra is held. And at the original place where it was held, there is a big temple dedicated to Shri Saptakoteshwar. But right now, see this lake, which is amazing, cut out of a single rock. Come over here, see this place, beautiful. But remember, this is protected by the Directorate of Archives and Archaeology. Please do not damage it, then we will be liable for imprisonment and fine. Why do we need somebody to tell us that we should take care of it? I am sure you will. But come in and see this. From Ponnetirth, we drove down and came to a place where there is a ferry that takes you across to Narve. But why did we come over here? First, to cross over to Narve, to see the temple. But this part is a huge link into the story of Saptakoteshwar. When they broke the temple, they took the ling and they put it in a bandh. Bandh is what is a wall that is built in the field, and people did not like other people walking over it. So what they did, they removed that ling one day and they hid it next to a well very close by here. We are going to show you the well. And one day, one of my ancestors, Narao-Divar Desai, came over here at night with a strong posse of village youth, dug it up and took it across to the safer Bicholi. But the fort of Narva was very close by, and it is said that in the shootout, the brother of Narayana Surya Rao died over here. But for you, please see the well where this ling was buried and hidden. Come. (1540 to 1560), they were very turbulent times in Goa. The Inquisition had just been instituted in 1560, but before that, the destruction of all the temples had started. So when this temple was destroyed by Miguel Vaz and they put that ling, the icon, for a bandh, it was later that this Narayana Surya Rao Desai took that ling and brought it across, but they did not bring it to Bicholim directly, to Narve. It is said that they brought it to this village called as Latambarcem. I am not saying that they brought it to this place, but what really makes me very inquisitive is this Shri Siddheshwar at Naikwada in Vadavol, in Latambarcem village of North Goa, but Latambarcem is called as Ladfe also. Here you have the biggest ling in Goa. It is 2 meters 16 centimeters or 216 centimeters. Could it be that initially they placed the ling over here? We don't know. Since the topic was of this ling And this village was associated with it. We saw a lot of beautiful temples on the way, hidden away from sight. We thought of bringing the biggest ling to you. Let's go down and see it. Protocol requires that I remove my slippers because they have put a nice cow dung coated floor over here, and we will see the biggest ling, which they call as Shri Saptakoteshwar. Please follow these protocols whenever you go to temples, or remove the hat when you go to the church. Now that we have come over here, let me tell you, this place is about 8 to 9 kilometers away from Bicholim. You have to take the road that is on the north side of the Bicholim bus stand on the highway bypass, and then proceed straight to a place called as Latambarcem or Ladfe. Somewhere down the line, the road goes straight to Dodamark, and one road comes to Latambarcem. Now here again, just next to the panchayat, there is a road going opposite side where it takes you almost about another 2 kilometers to come to this place. Note this board of Shri Saptakoteshwar, and from there when you get down, you can see these steps over here. And when you come to these steps and look around the place, you find a lot of idols that are lying around over here. It is not about faith alone. It is about visiting and laying your eyes on the heritage of this land, left to us by the Hindu dynasty, the Muslim dynasty, and the European, the Portuguese dynasty. But it was all done by Goan artisans. Let us respect that. Now that I have told you about respect, let us go and pay our respect to the biggest ling in Goa, which is about 216 centimeters high from ground, and possibly what my grandfather had written the history of the Saptakoteshwar Temple, because that is our family deity too. It was the family deity of the Kadams also, and it is said that it was brought here into Latambarcem. Is it possible that the ling may have been kept here and then this was the commemorative ling? I don't know, but no harm in coming and seeing this place. Come, let's go up and see the ling. Here I can see two lings. One is the big ling, from down it is to 116 centimeters, and there is another ling. But there is something that I want you also to see about that smaller ling. It is placed at a slant. Always remember, the water spout always faces the north, and when the water falls from there, the Hindu devotees never cross over that. So for a circumambulation, you just go halfway around and then come back, never crossing where that water goes. You will see this in the Saptakoteshwar Temple also. But here, ladies and gentlemen, you have the ling and you have the Nandi. Please. Like I told you, that ling was taken out from near the well and brought to safety by one of my ancestors called as Narve-Bicholim, taken to Latambarcem and then brought here. But when this gentleman died, he was given his samadhi over here. Let's go down and see it, because every year on a particular day, the palanquin of the temple comes here as a respect to him for having brought him this side. Let's go down and see. This is the samadhi of the man who went across to Divar, right next to the fort of Naroa, dug up that ling and brought it this side to safety. His name Narao Desai or Narao Sardessai. And in front of that you can see the place where the palanquin of the deity Saptakoteshwar is kept over here. Inquisitive to know what I am taking a photograph of? You will not believe this. This is a tunnel which is for a person to walk through right from top to down. Now there is a beautiful story here for this. It is said that during the olden times, the robbers used to stay over here. People did not know how the robberies were taking place, who the robbers were, and they never knew what this was. Until the robbers made a mistake. Crime never pays. And they robbed roosters, cocks. And that cock did his job of crowing in the morning at sunrise. That is the time people came to know that there was something wrong here, because a rooster would not go inside and crow. So they realized that there were robbers and the robbers were caught. This is the story of this tunnel. But when you come here to Saptakoteshwar, come here and see. Now that I have come to the Saptakoteshwar Temple, paid my respects, let's continue with the history. After this ling was brought here from Latambarcem or Ladfe, the name of this village was Hindane. It was not Narve, it was Hindane. It was part of a bigger ward over here. And that idol which was there, or the icon, the ling that was brought here, was kept inside a rock cave over here. Possibly there were coconut leaves on top of it. Now there is a very interesting story that happens over here. In the year 1667, November of 1667, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj came to Goa because he was chasing his people who had defrauded him. He told him he was camping at Bicholim. So somebody told him that there is a very, very revered icon over here of Mahadev. So when he came to know that, and by the way, Saptakoteshwar here is one of the most important Mahadev temples in the Konkani region. And when Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj himself came over here, he had to enter a hut-like structure over the cave. And when he tried to enter inside, it is said that one of the sticks in a coconut frond touched his crown, what he used to wear, the turban crown, and it fell off. So he tied it again and tried to enter inside. Again it fell off. And at that time, the oracle, the priest who did the oracle, told him that God wants you to construct a temple for him. And somewhere between November 1667, Shivaji gave the order that they should build this temple. Today when you enter inside this temple, you can see a plaque put outside. So when Shivaji gave that order and the construction started, the possibility was that people would be climbing on top of the icon. Now that was not acceptable. So, in all probability, or possibly yes, they must have moved the icon to another place by the side and behind the temple, where we can see niches where this thing may have been kept. And they also carved out the rock in the form of archways, and it is told to us that that was the Agarshala. Coming to the Agarshala. Agarshala or Agrahashala, that is a place where people, when they come to a temple, they come and they stay. Now here also there is one Agarshala, a very, very old structure, but now there are plans to extend it, to beautify it in a beautiful way, so that the devotees who come from far away, they can reside over here. Another thing that you need to see are the paths around here. This carriageways or paths was made by laying laterite stones so that the carts and the horse carriages could go on top and people could walk. But there was a path very special where they had two stones that were flat and one stone that was raised, and in a sequence. And this was because when you were walking, see how much care they took of you. When you were walking, you did not slip and fall down. But over a period of time, people have discarded these paths. But I want you to see one more path here, which they have developed, yet they have maintained the old structure. It's a beautiful way of keeping things, a compromise situation. So here we have with us the priest, the pujari of this Shri Saptakoteshwar Temple of Narve-Bicholim, Mr. Prabhakar Khandekar. Let us find out from him a little bit, because if you want to come here to this temple, then you will want information, and let's get the information first hand. Khandekar Sahib, namaskar.
नमस्कार.
खांडेकर साहेब, इथं ह्या देवळामध्ये कुठले सण असे गाजावाजाने होतात, म्हणजे रिअली इम्पॉर्टंट?
अगदी बरोबर. त्यातले दोनच सगळ्यात मोठे सण इथे साजरे केले जातात. त्याच्यामध्ये शिवरात्री एक,
ओके,
आणि दुसरा 6 एप्रिल हा सप्तकोटीश्वरांच्या ज्या मंदिराचा म्हणजे बांधलेल्याचा दिवस 6 एप्रिल हा एक मोठ्या पद्धतीने आम्ही साजरा करतो.
ओके. आता ह्या देवळामध्ये एका आठवड्याला म्हणजे मेन दिवस म्हणजे सोमवार.
हो, मुख्य.
त्या दिवशी काय होतं इथं?
पालखी असते. संध्याकाळच्या वेळी पालखी असते.
संध्याकाळी म्हणजे किती वाजता?
6:15 वाजता इथून पालखी निघते.
ओके.
पावसाळ्यात ती देवळातल्या देवळात असते, परंतु वैकुंठ चतुर्दशी नंतर ती बाहेर न फिरते.
ओके.
पण दर सोमवारी मात्र इथे पालखी असते
7:30ला.
7:30 म्हणजे 7:15 ते 7:30 असं साधारण थोडंसं ती माणसं वगैरे येणं ह्याच्यावरती ठरतं.
ओके.
आणि दुसरं, दर एकादशीला सुद्धा इथे पालखी असते. आणि महिन्यातून 2 एकादशी येतात, 2 एकादशींच्या पालख्या असतात.
आणि ते पण संध्याकाळी?
ते पण त्याच वेळामध्ये.
त्याच वेळामध्ये. ओके. आता पालखी म्हटलं तर आणखी एक आहे, ज्या माणसानं म्हणजे नारायणराव सूर्यराव देसाई ह्यांनी जे लिंग दिवाडीहून ह्या बाजूला आणलं.
अगदी बरोबर.
म्हणजे देवाला त्यांनी पोर्तुगीजाच्या हातातून सुटका करून ह्या त्यांची समाधी इथून जवळच आहे.
हो, 1 किलोमीटरला आहे.
1 किलोमीटरला आहे. आता तिथं आम्ही बघितलं की तिथं पालखी ठेवायची जागा आहे. पण ही कोणत्या दिवशी पालखी जाते तिकडे?
आता ह्याच महिन्यामध्ये आहे, म्हणजे कार्तिक शुक्ल पक्षातील दशमी हा त्याचा दिवस आहे, जो उद्या ही पालखी निघेल. आज शनिवार आहे आणि रविवारी ही पालखी इथून तिथे जाईल. त्याच्यात काळभैरवनाथांची सुद्धा पालखी असेल आणि सप्तकोटेश्वरांची पालखी संध्याकाळी 4च्या दरम्याने इथून त्या पालख्या जातात.
हो.
आणि तिथे तिथल्या समाधीची पूजा होते, पालख्यांची पूजा होते आणि परत येतात.
ओके. आता इथं जे लोक येतात ते कुठून येतात?
जास्तीत जास्त महाराष्ट्रातून येतात. मुख्य म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राला ह्या मंदिराची ओढ एवढ्यासाठीच आहे की ह्याची पुनर्प्रतिष्ठापना ही शिवाजी महाराजांच्या हातून झालेली आहे.
जस्ट फॉर युअर इन्फॉर्मेशन, लेडीज अँड जेंटलमॅन, this temple was constructed under the royal orders of Chhatrapati Shivaji, and on the 300th year of celebration of this temple's establishment, the Maharashtra government lent financial assistance and help to construct the road that comes from Pilgaon to here. So the people from Maharashtra have got a lot of affinity for this particular temple because it was built by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Thank you very much, Sahib.
धन्यवाद.
Exactly behind the Garbhagriha or the Sanctum Sanctorum is a place which the people come and venerate. But in this particular circumambulatory or Pradakshina chamber, we find that there is a door on top over there, and actually that was like a hiding place because there is a big cavity where people could sit down over there, right on top. Now in this Pradakshina chamber, you must note one thing. In a Mahadev temple, normally you have a gate. The devotees do not cross over the water that is passing after giving abhishek to the idol. So we don't step over that. So there is a gate here. So when I want to do Pradakshina, I have to go around, come here, then go back and then come over there. That is how we do Pradakshina. And behind me you can see one hole. I am going to take you there and show you the hole because from there you can see the original cave where the icon of Saptakoteshwar was kept before this building was constructed by Shivaji. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I have finished one Pradakshina by coming that side, going all the way around and coming here. And on top, here you see the cave in which the original ling was brought and kept over here. You can come and peep inside. The water from this well is used purely for the rituals of the deity, the Abhishek. Behind me you can see the tulsis over here, and there is a traditional, a very ancient rath over here or the chariot. So here we are. We have come to the end of this episode about the journey of Shri Saptakoteshwar from Divar to Latambarcem or Ladfe, and then coming into this village called as Hindre, which was named after the ward from where the deity was brought, that is Naroa-Divar. Hence, this part of Hindre village was called as Narve. I am sure that you have liked this episode. Possibly you may want to have more information. So in that case, please write to us on the email that you see over here. There are so many beautiful things in Goa. In fact, what is Goa? Goa belongs to you. So please help us to protect, preserve and promote it in a healthy manner. So, bye-bye, Mogasuni.